Counties, a very simple way to localize government a little more. Every state has been split into their own smaller counties, with every individual one having its own people, cities, parks, and government. I personally think that U.S. counties are a relatively untapped part of the country, with a lot going into the history of why they're there and how they were created. One of the things I've looked into is the smallest counties in the country, because throughout America's history, there have been situations where certain not-so-normal counties have been created for specific reasons. So today we'll go over the top 10 smallest counties, giving a brief overview of what they are and how they got there. Before the video starts though, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Growth has been slow to start the new year, and I'm hoping we can get things to speed up again. So if you appreciate the content but haven't subscribed, that would be the best way to help out. Thank you. So there are a few situations where these tiny counties would be created. Some are in the east where the states were smaller, so the counties in turn were smaller as well. Some came because of specific cities, and others because of peculiar geographic situations. Now, every state has different sized counties depending on how their government laid out the land. But if we're thinking about just your normal U.S. county, my mind would go to a square county in Iowa, because the state has one of the simplest layouts in the country. One of these counties is going to be around 500 square miles. So now as we get into this list, we can go off of that. And since we have everything out of the way, let's get into it with our first county, Suffolk County, Massachusetts. So Suffolk County is located in the Boston metropolitan area, and in fact it encompasses just the cities of Boston, Winthrop, and Revere, with nothing else included. The population is 798,000, and it has a total land area of 58.15 square miles. Now for the history of this one, we have to go all the way back to 1643, when it was created and split into 4 shires. During the 1700s, the western portion split off to join Worcester County, and several other counties left to become the counties of Norfolk and Plymouth. This left just the 3 communities that still stand as Suffolk County today. Next up, we have San Francisco County, California, officially called the City and County of San Francisco. The population is 877,000, with the size being 46.9 square miles, as we continue to get smaller down the list. So this one's history takes some explaining that we can use for the rest of the video, because it's considered a consolidated city-county. This basically means that the city merged with its surrounding county and became one thing. So it works like both a city and a county, which we'll see a few more times in this video. Why this is interesting is because it's different from an independent city, which is something seen around the country as well. Independent cities are different because instead of being considered their own county, they are considered to just not be within any county and have their own jurisdiction. They have similar powers and work like a county, but they technically aren't. Virginia is the most major instance of this, with 38 of its large cities being considered this. But it's also seen with cities like Baltimore, St. Louis, or Carson City, Nevada. None of these were included in this video because of that reason, because they technically aren't counties. Anyways, before I lose all my hair talking about independent cities, let's talk about Keeps. Keeps is an online subscription service for men to treat their male pattern baldness in an easier, more affordable way from the comfort of their home. I gave the product to my viciously balding brother, and so far he loves it. We're hoping it'll be enough to help his head before it's too far gone. Keeps is convenient. You can get expert care for hair loss from the comfort of your home without ever visiting a doctor's office or pharmacy. And all treatment plans are personalized to address your unique needs and recommended by a licensed medical provider. Keeps offers treatments that are clinically proven to work, offering both of the FDA-approved hair loss treatment options, as well as a 2-in-1 gel that combines both treatments. According to clinical studies, they are 90% effective at treating hair loss and can increase hair growth by up to 35%. This is a trusted brand, helping over 1 million men worldwide, with over 4,500 5-star reviews. They deliver treatments directly to your door in a discreet, non-branded packaging, so don't worry about anyone seeing. Hair loss stops with Keeps. For a special offer to get started, go to keeps.com/beavergeography or click the link in the description. That's keeps.com/beavergeography. Thank you to Keeps, and let's get back to the video. Getting back into the video, next we have Hudson County, New Jersey. So Hudson County is located in the northeast corner of the state. right next to the border with New York and New York City. The population is 724,000, making it the densest county in the state, at 46.19 square miles of land area. Now, the county includes a lot of the dense communities between the Hudson River and the Hackensack River. Its biggest city is Jersey City, but it also includes communities like Hoboken, Bayonne, Union City, and Kearney. And no, I didn't say any of those wrong. Looking at the history of why it looks like this, there's a lot of boring stuff going on here. But basically, most of the county was included in Bergen Township in the 1600s, and as history went on, it split into many different cities within the county, which is why there are so many different communities within the area, but the general shape has stayed through present day. Next up, we have Nantucket County, Massachusetts, located on the island of Nantucket. This county continues to get even smaller, as this is the first one with a small population as well, at 14,255, and a land area of 47.8 square miles. Now, technically, Nantucket is also considered a consolidated city-county, because the entire county is considered to be one city. It's a popular tourist destination within the Northeast, and is incredibly interesting because of its historical layout and 18th and 19th century architecture. Massachusetts is a historic state that has held its county layout, so it makes sense that the island has this designation. Next up, we have Bronx County, New York. So Bronx County is located in the New York City borough of the Bronx, with a population of 1.5 million and a land area of 42.2 square miles. This is a simple one to explain, because the boroughs of New York have historically been their own counties because of the city's size. There's Bronx, Queens, Kings, Richmond, and New York County. So some have kept the same name, while others have given a different name to the county. Bronx happens to be the second smallest in the city, which is why it ends up being considered on this list. Next up, we have Broomfield County, Colorado, located in north-central Colorado. This one brings us to another consolidated city-county, but this one happens to be my favorite instance. The population is just 74,000, and the total land area is 32.9 square miles, as we continue to get smaller. Now, in Colorado, this is an idea that was already used, with Denver being a large city-county, so it wasn't out of the ordinary. But it's different when it's the large city of Denver, that can more easily hold its own as a singular county. With Broomfield, it's much smaller, less major, and doesn't even kinda have a normal shape of a county. It only became a county because it stretched across 4 different counties, so they decided it would be easier to be their own county for government purposes, which makes sense. But there are no other counties in this country that look like Broomfield County does. It's not great. Next, we move to our 4th spot with Arlington County, Virginia. This county has a population of 286,000 and a land area of 26 square miles, and it's actually very interesting. So basically, Arlington, Virginia is not a city. This may confuse some because, as I said before, Virginia uses the independent city for all its major cities. So you might think that since the county situation here is weird, it's just its own city. But no, Arlington is not a city, it's a county. If it had become a city, it would be the 3rd most populous in the state, but instead it's a census-designated place within a county. In regards to the border, it works with the District of Columbia's borders to almost form a square. This is because Washington, D.C. was originally meant to encompass the entire square, but they just ended up building everything important on one side of the Potomac River and decided they didn't need the other side and give it back to Virginia. Next up, we have Bristol County, Rhode Island in our 3 spot. Now, Bristol County has a population of 51,000 and a total land area of 24 square miles, and it's located in eastern Rhode Island. This is another one with a fun little story, because yeah, you may be thinking it's just really small because it's in the smallest state in the country, but there's more to it. Basically, Bristol County, Massachusetts borders the county to the east, and it's much larger. In 1746, this small section of the county was transferred to the state of Rhode Island after a long-running border dispute. Originally, it then became part of Plymouth County, but when the new Rhode Island County was formed, The new territories of Bristol, Barrington, and Warren came with it. Next up, we have New York County, New York, in our 2 spot. So this encompasses the borough and island of Manhattan within New York City, as well as Ellis and Liberty Islands. It has a population of 1.7 million and a land area of 22.83 square miles. Now, this is the second New York City borough we see on this list, and it's also obviously the smallest borough in the city. It was the first part of New York settled, and also has the biggest part of the skyline, Times Square, Central Park, and most of the things you think of with the city. This is the most densely populated county in the country, with almost 70,000 residents per square mile, which is 35,000 more than the next best. Finally, we get to our number 1 spot, which has the most interesting story of them all, and that's Kalawao County, Hawaii. So Kalawao County has a population of 82 residents, and a total land area of 12 square miles, making it by far the smallest in the country. And there's a very valid and real reason for this. To put it simply, Kalawao County was historically a quarantine county for people with Hansen's disease, or leprosy. The county is disconnected from the rest of the island by cliffs over a quarter-mile high, and it's only accessible by land using mule trails. It is an insane destination, and visits are only permitted as part of official tours, and you may not enter if you're under the age of 16. I have an entire video about this county, its history, and interesting aspects, so if this interests you, I highly recommend it. So that's it for the country's smallest counties. There are so many interesting things to talk about in regards to America's many counties, so if you want to see more about this, let me know. Thanks for watching. Thank you to the members this week: Makita Martinoff, KMS162, JL, Sir JC17, Bryson, Jerome McCall, Dominic Psyche, Rosebud 4, Jeremy Jarvis, Christopher DeAngelis, Darkbird, Big Pasty, Jeremy Crone, Wolflink73, Snyder Schwein, Florida Jake, Stormy Knight, Makita Martinoff, Benjamin Whiting, Ryan Devins, and Hazev the Wolf. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate the support on the channel. You guys mean a lot to me. If you want to become a member, the link is down in the description below. Basically, it's just another way to give to me if you appreciate the content on the channel and you want to help me specifically as a person. I'm saving up for college and stuff, obviously, so if you want to just put some money in my savings, it would really help me out. It's completely optional if you just appreciate the content. Thank you.